Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you are very welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which happens in the fixed earth sign of Taurus from around the 18th to the 21st of April 2024. But the energy is going to last a lot longer than that, and I will explain why in a moment. Just to let you know, I am covering all 12 signs of the zodiac in this forecast, so if you would like a more in-depth reading, please stay tuned, and yeah, you can enjoy that later on in the video. But please also do watch this introduction because it will give some context as to what's going on in your personal chart as well. What shall I talk about first? So I'm going to talk about first Jupiter qualities, then Uranian qualities, and then we're going to talk about how they interact in this fixed earth sign of Taurus. So Jupiter rules Pisces, which is the ever-flowing river and the ever-flowing fish moving down the river, and Sagittarius, which is the ever zooming arrow into space, you know, and beyond into the ether. And Jupiter is all about belief. It's about learning. It's about teaching. It's about being a believer in what you put out there into the world. It's the most benevolent of all the planets, apart from perhaps the sun or the moon, which are benevolent in a slightly different way. But it brings good fortune. It likes things to expand and grow. And usually that's what we want. We want things to expand and grow and bring benefits to us. We want change. And so here we have this expansion and this growth and this benevolence. And lucky you Taurians, if you do have Jupiter in your well, if you're Taurian, you know, lucky you, because you've got Jupiter in your star sign for the whole year, so you know that's cool. And when we add Uranus into that, Uranus is about innovation, it's about change, and it's about change through disruption and chaos. I would liken Uranus energy to that of the Tower, because it forces dramatic change so that we can heal, so that we can let go, so that we can innovate. How many times in our lives have we not had the right tools we need to do the job? And because we haven't had the right tools, we've had to make do, we've had to mend, we've had to fix, we've had to go around things a different way. And that's what this Uranian energy is. It's saying, look, what you've been doing to expand and grow in society, and let's call a spade, it's not working. And in our personal lives, in terms of like how we manifest and what we put out into the world and what we do, if it's not been working, if it's not been manifesting into reality, which is the Taurian element, then you have to innovate. And to innovate, you kind of have to embrace the chaos, because nothing is going to change without disruption. Nothing is going to change without change itself. And so Uranian energy, so Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about the dissolving and the restructuring of community and tribes and boundaries and humanity. And it's an ever-changing ebb and flow of that. It's not fixed. It's always moving and trying to find a way to allow humanity to be at its best in the paradigm, in the philosophy, in the aeon and era that it is steeped in. And so when these two planets come together, they are calling for us to come together in our tribes, but they are calling for innovation. And what Uranus allows Jupiter to do is or what Uranus offers Jupiter is the breaks. And it says, look, growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and ever expanding in all this paradigm is not working for a lot of things of the earth, for a lot of Taurian things. It's not working for a lot of people in terms of the finances. It's not working for the planet and Mother Earth and Mother Nature. It's expanding too quickly. And so Uranus is like, let's put the brakes on that, and we are going to create change through disruption. We are going to create change through another means, because change for change's sake is only effective if you are scrapping what has been before, and Jupiter cannot scrap anything. Jupiter is like, you know, that Tetsuo Akira energy. Hopefully you'll get that reference if you've watched the anime or read the comic of Akira, where, you know, the energy is all encompassing and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's creating a monster in some ways, an over benevolent monster, or like No Face in Spirited Away. It's you need something to just put the brakes on in order to really manifest what you're wanting to manifest in reality. And fundamentally, what we're all wanting to manifest at this time is more benevolence. It's more material benevolence. We want material security, but how that comes and how that will play out in your chart is down to how these two planets interact with you and, you know, your houses and signs. So that's what I'm going to go into now. But on a wider scale for all of us, this is a point where we are manifesting the reality that we set in motion 14 years ago. Now, if you're very young and you were a child, when I ask us to take responsibility in that way, and when I'm using that kind of language, please don't feel guilt attached to that. There is no bad energy that exists anywhere. It is what it is. It's electricity. It's just unearthed matter, and it is the way we perceive that energy and the way we utilize that energy which can turn it into a force for negative or positive manifestation. So allow no guilt to be attached to this 14-year cycle. Just know that this is a 14-year cycle, and the energy that you've put into your life, and we all put energy into our life all the time, every day. That's why we need to eat food, so we can get some of that energy back. And that's why we need to meditate, so we can get some of that energy back. And once you have, because you've been accumulating that energy over time, it is now time to manifest it. So one of the things that we need to discuss in this forecast is the idea of cosmic ordering. And if you're not sure what that is, it's when we ask for something from the universe, and we do that all the time, every day. Like if you're ever on Pinterest, or if you ever do online shopping or window shopping, or if you just want things in your life like a partner or a lover, or more children, or more abundance, or a fast car, whatever it is that you want, you are putting that out into the universe all the time. And this particular Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in the very fixed earth sign of Taurus, and Taurians do not like change. They don't like things to change. It is saying now is the time to stop cosmic ordering, to stop asking and asking and asking, unless you are willing to do the material work to get what you have been wanting in the first place. And this is about material manifestation of those things that 14 years ago, or over the last 14 years, or even over a lifetime, you have been acquiring and ordering and ordering and ordering. Bring them through into reality. You don't have to do everything all at once, but it's time to do some of those things. And I like this energy if we are willing to work at it. I like this energy if we are willing to change our beliefs. Now, as I've spoke about, Uranus is about innovation and it's about spiritual awakening, and Jupiter is about our beliefs and teaching and learning. So the mix of those two heavenly bodies together is really beneficial for us in terms of how we are going to move forward with our Venusian, Venus ruling Taurus material expansion. I'm excited for this. So just to sum up on this bit, and then I'm going to move on to the all 12 signs. Manifest through effort right now, through change. Allow change to come. It is coming with or without your direct action. So we know change is happening. We see it happening in all the world. It hasn't stopped raining in the UK for 6 months, and we doesn't even feel like there's a spring. So, you know, that's our reality, and it's showing us something, and we need to look out for these changes that are happening, and we need to embrace that change and that chaos so we can learn something from it, and so we can learn something in the physical world and bring it forward. So it's all about readjustments to our idea of expansion, to allowing change to happen to us, and growing from that. You know, Taurus is also the gardener of the zodiac, and so this is about planting seeds and gardening. I don't know if you noticed, but the light in my house, I do close one of my curtains and I do have a circle light on at the moment, but the light in my house is ever changing. I just find it really interesting watching myself on when I'm recording videos and how the light changes. It's just so, yeah. Anyway, just a little side note there. So let's get on to all 12 zodiac signs. So Aries people, you little fiery beacons of love. Obviously your ruler, if you didn't know, is Mars, and right now this particular Jupiter Uranian conjunction is happening in your second house, which is all about money and finance and how you make money and what actions you need to take to make your money. And let me tell you right now, change is afoot. I would not be surprised if a lot of Aries ascendant or sun signs end up leaving or starting a new job at this time. And there's going to be disruptions on leaving work. There's going to be disruptions on handing in your notice. There's going to be disruptions on getting your new job. But it's fine. It's fine. It's take the time that is needed for things to work out. And things always work out. And that's fundamentally what we need to understand about this conjunction, is like, it's not necessarily feeling comfortable, but things always work out. And Jupiter's there in this beautiful Venusian sign of Taurus, one of the most beautiful signs in the zodiac, telling us like life is gonna be sweet, but you know this, it's out of your hands. It's out of your hands. You have to embrace the change, particularly when it comes to finance. So I think your responsibilities are going to feel quite and your job list is going to feel quite extensive at the moment. But stick with it, you know, stick with it. If you are looking for work, or if you are looking for a new job, this is perfect. This is the perfect time to make that transition, even though it might be initially slightly bumpy, and perhaps you know, maybe you're moving on to a career job, having worked in you know, a low sort of paying service job for a while, and you're moving on to something much better. It's certainly an expansion in your finances, so good luck with that. Moving on to Taurus. So Taurus, this is happening in your first house. I really like this for you. I have a lot of family members and old partners, ex-partners who are Taurian, and yeah, they really don't like change. I know you struggle with moving generally, just moving or doing anything which involves disruption of your routine, and this is going to be a disruption of your routine. It might not be a direct disruption of your 9 to 5 sort of working routine, but it's going to be a disruption of in terms of like yourself, in terms of how you feel, maybe some of the things that you believe, some of your self-belief, some of your thought patterns, the things which you do to yourself. So your physical appearance, maybe your exercise routine, or your dress sense, how you present yourself to strangers, how you present yourself to the world, that is all undergoing an innovative awakening change. There is a lot of actualization which can happen for Taurians right now, where they are suddenly stepping into alignment with something new, something different, something that they have not done before, and it's the growth of self, basically. So brilliant time for people who have I can't believe it's so cold in April. But yeah, a brilliant time for people who have like, you know, maybe they're changing their career path, or they're even changing their name, you know, starting a new band, going out into the world with a willingness to embrace benevolence and good fortune through allowing the disruption and chaos to wash over them. You know, don't hold on to things, Taurus. Let go of control. It will come back to you as in a much better way. For Gemini, this is happening in your 12th house, which is the house of seclusion and rest and reprieve and spirituality and hidden things as well. For some Gemini, this is going to involve a need for rest and respite. So time away from the burn. It's a great time for Geminis to do spiritual retreats. It's a great time for Geminis to invest in physical things which have spiritual and Venusian qualities, like for example buying crystals or jewelry or talisman, or creating a home spa, or, you know, investing in the spiritual self and healing through that, and spiritual awakenings. So at this moment in time for you, your thoughts directly are going to be your thoughts are going to be very karmic, and really an unraveling of your, or a reconstruction of your mental wellness. And so it's really important that you allow things to wash over you. You allow change to happen without resistance. You allow disruption to happen without resistance. So when it occurs, go into that spiritual place that you know you can, because you're an amazing thinker. You are incredible at bringing those ideas out. You know, I've got some really close Gemini friends, and often I'll be stood with them and I think they'll have said something, or I'll say something and they will say to me, I was just thinking that. And it's because Gemini have this ability to just have their thoughts, like they push them out in these little air bubbles, and energetically they say so much through non-verbal communication that it's, you know, it's very interesting for them to be friends with a Gemini person. And so that's really what you need to be focusing on. You need to be focusing on consciously thinking about what you're thinking about your thoughts and being conscious of those thoughts, because those thoughts are going to come out, and they are going to come out and manifest in reality. So what you want is for those thoughts to be the best thoughts you can think, and you need some time, and you need to give yourself some time to draw back in and have that moment for yourself. So brilliant time for spiritual retreats, brilliant time for solitude, brilliant time for contemplation, brilliant time for rest and reprieve or rehab or anything like that for Gemini people. And also, if you are Gemini, I recommend every zodiac sign does this as often as they can, but please meditate at this time. It will help you a lot. It will help you to understand why things are happening the way they're happening, and why the brakes to your expansion and your dreams are on hold, and how you can open up that spiritual path for yourself to create the life that you want to experience. So moving on to Cancerians, this is in your 11th house. The 11th house is the house of fun, it's the house of friends, it's the house of long distance travel. So I really like this for Cancerian placements. I think that this is really good for spontaneous change, for traveling, for meeting new people who are like very spiritual people, very spiritually eccentric, innovative people who are embracing change. They're helping you to know more about yourself and embrace change. This is primarily friendship based sort of changes, and I like this for you. I think this is going to be a time of expansion in your social circles. In order to have that, you kind of have to get out there and make that happen for yourself. And when I say make that happen, it's probably not a great time for like dating apps and stuff like that, but what it is a great time for is like going to social events, going to gigs, being out in the public in a manifested physical way, because then you're going to get the benefits of everything that this Jupiter Uranian conjunction are offering you. Here, and then we have Leo in the 10th house. So for you Leos, this is about your identity out in the public domain. So your work, your legacy, who you are in the public, and how you present yourself. And expect a lot of growth around this time in terms of your career. If you're not working, that's fine, but you're still going to be recognized. People are still going to see you. If you are a creative and you work in the creative field, this is fantastic, because people, you know, you might go viral at this time. And so a really good example for this would be that you Leo people, ascendant, sun or moon, you know, you have a small business online, and suddenly you go viral. Someone important buys one of your product and advertises it because they love it. But then you might find that you're inundated with orders that you can't quite yet sustain because things are expanding too quickly. And so it's benevolent, but suddenly there has to be a break put on it, because you can't possibly make all this stuff that you want to, that, you know, the supply and the demand isn't there. You know, you can be too successful at this time. So what's really important to know is that you have to be prepared to allow for those things to happen, and you have to almost like be one step ahead of that and plan for the fact that things might be happening quicker than you expected, and you might not be able to sustain or act on that as you would like. So, you know, another example would be, you know, you get an award for something, and or a new job, but you know, you've got this job as a graphic designer, but you're not quite sure about every single program that you're going to be using, and so there's going to have to be a lot of background work and preparation for that, and it's all a bit rushed. But hey, you're becoming what you wanted to be. You're getting the success which you've been cosmic ordering for some time. So just allow that to happen. Know that there is going to be limitations on what you can physically manifest and physically achieve in the moment, but you can stretch things out. You can plan for that success. Embrace it. Don't sit down on it. Let it happen. Move it forward. Embrace it. Keep that momentum going. Okay, for Virgos, we are in the 9th house. I really like this for you, Virgo, and the reason is that you are natural teachers. Virgo people are, you love to learn, you love to consume, you love to research, you love to understand, and you love to spread that knowledge. Virgos are not the kind of teacher that hoards or gatekeeps information. They like to share their knowledge with people, but they do it discerningly, and they will only teach people who want to learn. And in the 9th house, this is all about, it's a very Jupiterian house, and it's all about your belief, your spiritual awakening, your ability to be discerning and open-minded and philosophical. It's a great house for, it'd be a great time for you to write. I'm Virgo moon and I'm currently producing a poetry book, so this is a great time for me to get on with that and finish that and launch that, which I was hoping to do by the end of the month. So this chimes in really well for my moon, but for all you other Virgo placements, ascendant and sun, and any other placements that you're watching for, this is a really good time for you to expand on your philosophy, to think, to develop your skills and abilities. So even to go out there and to teach, or possibly to learn something new. So if you want to, let's come back to the idea of graphic designer that we used in Leo. If you're wanting to get a job as a graphic designer and you're really good at being an illustrator and you're really good at what you do, but perhaps you don't have quite the skill with the certain programs, this is a great time to acknowledge that and to learn what you need to learn to get on to the next stage of who you want to be. You can't cosmic order and expect it to come to you. You have to put the physical manifested work in with this Taurian energy. And so learn. Do what Virgos do best. Learn, or learn to teach. So do whatever mix of that learning and teaching you want to get involved in. This is a great time to do it. It's also a really good time to travel. However, do not expect things to run very smoothly in terms of travel right now. Expect a lot of disruption and chaos and spontaneity. Now, if it so happens that you have a very heavy itinerary while you are traveling, or a very heavy schedule where you have meeting after meeting after meeting, yes, there is going to be a lot of disruption. People are going to be late. Things are going to get cancelled. Change is afoot. However, if you are backpacking or travelling without a heavy schedule, as one of my best Virgo friends is doing right now, this is a really good time for going with the flow and allowing those changes to happen. It's also a really evolutionary time for Virgos, in terms of your beliefs and what you think you know about yourself and who you thought you were in the past, especially, if we go into the deep past of 5, 6, 7, 14 years ago. This is an evolutionary time for your philosophical, dogmatic and spiritual beliefs. Okay, moving on to Libra. Oh, Libra, you have been having such a strange time this year with these Aries, Libra eclipse cycles, new beginnings, new endings, boundary setting, issues with people pleasing. Y'all are feeling it, and I am too, because I am Libra ascendant. And this being in the 8th house is about the disruption of inheritance, the disruption of fortune coming to you, the disruption of positive karma, the understanding that you are where you are because you placed yourself there. And to a degree, we all have to acknowledge that, and we all have to acknowledge that from time to time. Is it always a nice feeling? Not necessarily. Even if you are on an upward trajectory and you are flying high in the upper levels of self-realization and manifestation, we have good days and bad days. We all do. We all have good days and bad days. And Libra, this is an energy of the Death card in tarot. So this is an energy of like, you need to transform. You really need to evolve. You cannot stay in your cocoon because it is comfortable or because things are balanced and they're okay. You need to get out of that. And believe me, it is happening this year, with or without your consent. And so the best thing for Libras to do is to start to break down that cocoon for themselves. Is that going to be comfortable? No, it's not. Is it going to require getting rid of things in our lives that we thought were okay, fine, no issues? Yes, we still need to get rid of those things. So, you know, not an easy energy, Libras. I know it's been very interesting and very shaky for you for some time, but here we are, time to evolve. I would not be surprised if some Libras inherit some wealth at this time, and I would not be surprised if some Libras find a new role working in like the spiritual sector, or some sort of unraveling of debt and finances as well. And I you know, I don't mind that. I don't mind that for Libras. We're leveling up. So we've still got the balance, but we're leveling up a gear, and I like that. So for Scorpio, I really like this for you. This is in your 7th house. So this is all about relationships. This is about karma, spiritual awakenings. You could meet someone who you adore and love, and you know, maybe it could even be a life partner, and they're going to be spiritual, they're going to be innovative, they're going to be different to anyone that you've met before. They're wanting change. And if you are in a really comfortable, stable relationship, you're feeling like you want to grow and expand and switch up your partnership. You're feeling like you want to be more innovative and eccentric and spontaneous, and take some of those things that you've been manifesting in your partnership and bring them through into reality and really get cracking with them. So it's a great time to work on projects with your partner. It's also a good time to find a business partner for you. And you know, there may be stop starts and disruptions in doing that, but the disruptions, sometimes it's a good thing when you're going into business with somebody, because you get to know them a bit more, you get to know, you know, the strengths and weaknesses, and you get to negotiate things a bit more. So I don't mind that energy at all for you. But yeah, in terms of relationships, this is an exciting time. You could really be meeting the love of your life, and it is someone who perhaps triggers something from your earlier past. So from, 12, 14 years ago, maybe they have an energy of someone that you've met before, or there's some karma there between you. Or it could be that, this person is just very eccentric and expansive and very free and independent as well. They really value their independence. So I really like that energy for Scorpio people. Now we are moving on to Sagittarius in the 6th house. So for you Saggies, it's all about work. It's all about your daily routine. It's about getting to grips with your job list. You've got a lot going on in terms of daily routines at the moment. I think you're packed with daily routines, particularly if you're a Sagittarius ascendant. This is like you have so much expansion and so much going on. If you've just got a new job, this is going to feel really overwhelming and really hectic, but not bad, because the money's rolling in. You know that if you're working really hard and your job list is really busy, it's not going to be busy forever. It's a means to an end. Or maybe you're really, really enjoying being busy. And Uranus can sort of put the brakes on that a little bit and say, right, well, you're not going to be able to get that job done today because this has happened and this has happened and this has happened. And so there's a lot of disruption and chaos. Now, I've got a friend who has a lot of Sagittarian placements, and he is a delivery driver. And if you're watching this, dude, expect a lot of traffic jams and a lot of delays in your day-to-day routine. But you know what? You've got great music taste. Just listen to your music and you'll be fine. And I recommend that for all Sagittarians. Like, you, as Sagittarius, you like to be moving. You like to be constantly on the move. You like to be spontaneous. You like to be changing. You like to be ever expanding. So when you can't do that, turn your attention to something that you can still grow and still expand at. So the perfect thing for that would be you're stuck in a traffic jam. Learn about new music, listen to a podcast, keep growing and expanding in another area while you're fixed and stationary in your daily routine. But also expect a lot of disruption and a lot of chaos in your daily routine. That is something that needs to happen to adjust your philosophy about how you work and your work ethic. And maybe you need to be working a bit harder and not as lazy, and this energy is going to help you to do that. Or maybe you need to put the brakes on a little bit and be like, yeah, it's too much. So moving on to this Capricorn, we've got this Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn sun. So moving on to Capricorn, this is in your 5th house. And I like this because this is trining, as with Virgo, the Uranus-Jupiter energy. And so this is fun for you. Like, you people, like, Capricorns thrive on change. They really do. And it's like, a lot of the time you see Capricorn as like a very fixed, safe sign, but actually Capricorns are cardinal signs, and they love a bit of chaos. And if they don't have chaos in their day-to-day routine, they're so stoic, they will go around the mountain the longest route just to have that disruption and chaos, felt in the present, in the physical form. Capricorn is water acting as ice, so it's a liquid acting as a solid, and so it can transmute, it can evolve, it can change, but it needs the disruption to make it change. And the beauty of that, with it being in the 5th house for you Capricorns, is you want to have more fun, you want to have more freedom, you you want physical manifestation, you want physical development, you want to feel things. Brilliant time for like flings, brilliant time for dating people, brilliant time for sports and competition and music, and, you know, maybe jamming with friends, or as I've been doing this week, drawing with some of my friends and illustrating and playing music and just having more fun. And that is where the awakening for you is going to come. And it's much less disruptive energy for you than some of the other signs. This Uranian energy for you is not about chaos and disruption. It's about internalized spiritual awakening. It's about understanding that healing, soothing your inner child. I mean, the 5th house is also about children, so it's like stuff for your kids could be coming up right now, and how you interact with them, and maybe disruptions to your freedom to do with children. But predominantly it's all about you healing your inner child, and you doing that through play and having fun and getting together with other people and not being fixed about your beliefs, and being fluid and expanding in that way. And I really like that for you. Okay, moving on to Aquarius. So Aquarius is in the 4th house. This is home and family. Your family and your home life is expanding right now, and it is a period of change, and it is a period of growth, but it's disruptive growth. And the only thing that I can truly really liken this to is having a baby, because they bring benevolent joy, children, you know, into your life. They really do. They, you know, it's the most powerful love you will ever feel. But it's really hard work. It's incredibly hard work, especially in the closed societies that we live in, where we're not, you know, living in our ancestral homes with our ancestors and our grandparents and our family and our friends. You know, we all live in our little units, in our nuclear families. It's a very disruptive, strange energy. And I'm not saying that for everyone who's Aquarius it's going to involve children, but it is involving home and family. And so, you know, expect benevolent good fortune in terms of the growth of your home and your family life, but it's a very disruptive change as well. If you are trying to move, or if you have been wanting to move, or that if there has been a plan to move at this time, it is very likely that there will be disruptions to that. After the point of disruption, it will be exactly as it's meant to be, and you will still get the benefits that you've been wanting. So whatever the outcome, the positivity and the transformation is there. Be innovative about how you go about creating this benevolence right now. The more you can think outside the box, the more likely it is that you will get the tools that you will need to move forward on these goals. And finally, but not last, because I love Pisceans, I have some great Piscean friends, and my Venus and Mars is in Pisces. Thank goodness. So yeah, here we go. Pisces in the 3rd house, and this is all about siblings. It's about local community. It's about service people and day-to-day interactions. It's also about, like, you know, how you spend your money locally, and what your local environment's like, what your garden and your neighbours and your shopkeepers and everyone, and your coffee shop owners and everyone who you interact with on a day-to-day basis, basically. So this is about, I think that this is a great time for finding a new coffee shop. I know that sounds really mundane and basic, but if you think about it, like, it's about this is the initial stage of building your community and manifesting those things that you've been putting into place and cosmic ordering for some time. So this is a really good time for discovering new areas, for finding new places that you love to hang out, like coffee shops or bars or gig venues. This is a great time for going to open mic nights or socialising with your local community, getting involved with community projects. It's a brilliant time for that. It's a brilliant time for engaging in discussion and debate as well about your belief systems, about your spirituality, about the raising of the vibrations of society and everything in between. There is some stuff for you about money coming up, and where you spend your money, and you're going to feel very conscious about that, about where you want to spend your money. Also, expect some tension or disruption with siblings or maybe people who you associate with on a day-to-day basis as well. For some of you, it could be things like landlords, or it could be your favorite shop is closed and you can't get in there, so or the usual place, like your hot desk, someone's taking your seat. I don't know, but there's something about like your usual what you're wanting to experience is on a mundane level, especially with community stuff. It's expanding, but it's disruptive as well. It's all about change. It's all about honouring that change. And for a lot of you Pisceans, you could be finding a new sort of area to hang in, and down the line what that will do is invite a new set of people, a new group of mates, and a new community, and possibly even lots of other benefits to do with maybe where you work as well, and how you work, and maybe jobs and things in the future. So it is offering change and disruption, but ultimately they are positive. So that is my reading of the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction, which happens in April 2024. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you would like to book a reading with me, the link is in the description box below, and you can go and follow me on hex_tarot on Instagram. Please make sure it's me with the blue tick, because I do have a lot of fake accounts, which is super annoying. And I will see you in the next video. If you would like to comment below with an emoji, put maybe your star sign, let me know what your ascendant and your sun and moon is, and how you are experiencing this, if at all, and what you would like me to cover in future videos, because I really want to expand and grow on this channel and make more videos, because I find it really fun. And part of why I do this is because I feel a greater sense of community by expanding my knowledge and expressing that knowledge to you. I just think it's an incredible, very Uranian energy, that we can record videos of ourselves talking about whatever, and you can watch it and enjoy it, and we can interact with each other, and I love that. And I think that's just so Age of Aquarius and wonderful. So yeah, let me know in the description box if there's anything else that you would like me to cover in terms of videos, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.